Welcome to The Explainer. So, if you've ever stared at one of those blood compatibility charts and just felt totally overwhelmed by the alphabet soup of letters, pluses, minuses, and crazy arrows, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're completely ditching the dense medical jargon. We're going to break down blood types in a way that's incredibly simplified, easy to memorize, and super easy to understand. We're building a foolproof framework that's actually going to make intuitive sense. Okay, let's kick things off by painting a little picture. Imagine a high-stakes emergency room. The monitors are absolutely blaring, a trauma patient just rolled through the doors, and they need blood right this second. So, why can't a nurse just grab, the very first bag of blood off the shelf and hook up an IV? Well, it's because the human body is incredibly smart, but it's also fiercely protective. If you give that patient the wrong bag of blood, their immune system is going to attack those new cells instantly. The blood literally clumps up. It's a process called hemolysis, and that patient will crash right before your eyes.
And honestly, getting this right isn't just a job for medical professionals. This matters for every single one of us. Why? Because just one single blood donation has the power to save up to 3 lives. I mean, really think about that for a second. The stuff we're unpacking today isn't just cool biology trivia, it's practically a superpower. Understanding how this works equips you with the knowledge of exactly whose lives you could be saving.
So here's our game plan. We're going to break this down into 5 easy pieces. 1. The basics of blood types. 2. The ABO system. 3. The RH factor, which is your positive and negative. 4. The actual blood transfusion rules. And 5. The universal donor and recipient.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the basics of blood types. Before we get into who can give blood to who, we have to establish the biological foundation. How does a blood cell even identify itself to the rest of the body? Well, it all comes down to something called antigens. Now, don't let that sciencey word scare you. Antigens are simply tiny little proteins that sit right on the outside surface of your red blood cells. Just think of them as microscopic name tags. These name tags are the exact things that determine your specific blood type. It's how your body knows, hey, this blood cell belongs here and isn't some dangerous foreign invader.
Let's use a super helpful mental model here. Think of those antigens, the name tags, as team jerseys that your red blood cells are wearing. Meanwhile, floating around in the liquid part of your blood, the plasma, you have antibodies. We're going to call these guys the security guards. Their one and only job is to constantly patrol your bloodstream, and if they see any cell wearing a jersey they don't recognize, boom, they aggressively tackle and destroy it.
Moving right along to Section 2, the ABO system.
This is where we meet the 4 main players in the blood type game. Using our jersey analogy, it is brilliantly simple. Type A cells, they wear the A team jersey. Type B cells wear the B jersey. Type AB cells are kind of show-offs. They wear both the A and B jerseys at the exact same time. And type O, well, they don't wear a jersey at all. They're just rolling around in plain street clothes.
Which brings us to the absolute golden rule of blood transfusions. And if you remember one thing today, make it this: no foreign antigens allowed. Remember those security guards? If you have type A blood, your security guards are totally cool with the A jersey. But if a cell wearing a B jersey wanders into the bloodstream, the guards are like, whoa, you do not belong here, and they attack. You can never, ever introduce a jersey that the patient's body hasn't seen before.
Okay, Section 3, the raw factor, meaning positive and negative.
So you've probably noticed we don't just say someone is type A. We say they're A positive or A negative. This is the RH factor. It's the second major piece of the puzzle that adds that little plus or minus sign to your letter. If the ABO letters are the team jerseys, the RH factor is just an accessory. Let's call it a superhero cape. It's literally just another antigen. So if a blood cell has this extra antigen, it's wearing the cape, and we call it RH positive. If it doesn't have it, no cape, and we call it RH negative. And this analogy brilliantly illustrates how we handle the plus and minus during a transfusion. Think of it like personality types. Positive people are super accommodating, right? They'll hang out with anyone. A positive patient will happily receive blood with a cape or blood without a cape. But negative people, they can be highly selective. They only want to hang out with other negative people. An RH negative patient will absolutely only accept RH negative blood. If you try to hand a cape to someone who is negative, their security guards will completely freak out.
All right, Section 4, blood transfusion rules.
Let's put this whole puzzle together. We're going to combine our team jerseys and our superhero capes to build a foolproof cheat code for transfusions. When a nurse is in that high-pressure ER situation we talked about earlier, they just run through a very logical 2-step mental checklist. Step 1, check the cape. Remember, if the patient is negative, they can only get negative blood.
Positive? They can take either. Step 2. Check the jerseys. You can never give the patient a jersey their security guards don't already know. Simple as that. So, if they're type B, you definitely can't give them an A jersey.
And look at how neatly this all resolves into a simple set of rules. Let's take type A, for example. It can give blood to other A's, and it can give to AB because, hey, AB already knows what an A jersey looks like. But A can only receive from other A's and from type O. Why type O? Because remember, O isn't wearing a jersey at all. It just sneaks right past the security guards unnoticed.
Usually, when you look at an official clinical compatibility chart, it honestly terrifies people. It looks like this massive, complicated grid of red drops and arrows. But because you now understand the underlying logic, the team jerseys and the capes, this supposedly complex chart suddenly makes total intuitive sense. You don't have to rote memorize 100 different combinations. You just literally have to look at who is wearing what.
And finally, Section 5, the universal donor and recipient.
Let's spotlight the true rock stars of the blood world. Sitting at the extreme opposite ends of our chart are two superhero blood types with very, very special abilities. First up, type O negative. This is the universal donor. A super easy way to remember this is that the word donor has 2 O's in it. So why is O negative the ultimate giver? Well, it has no jerseys and it has no cape. It is completely invisible to every single security guard in the human body. In an absolute life or death emergency where doctors literally don't have time to test a patient's blood type, they immediately grab O negative because it is universally safe for everyone.
Then, on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, we have type AB positive, the universal recipient. Think of AB as acquires blood. This person has the A jersey, the B jersey, and the cape. Because their body is already totally used to wearing absolutely everything, their security guards are incredibly relaxed. They don't attack anything at all. An AB-positive patient can accept a life-saving donation from literally any other blood type on the planet. How cool is that?
So, do you know your own blood type? You are now fully equipped with the knowledge of how the ABO and RH systems actually work and exactly whose life you could step up and save. But here's a wild thought to leave you with. Scientists are currently researching ways to use special enzymes to literally strip the team jerseys off of type A and type B blood cells entirely. This could potentially turn any blood type into the universal O negative. It's mind-blowing. But until that day comes, your physical donation is the only cheat code we have. So, what team jersey are you wearing? Go find out and put this biology to work.